My name's Justin, and I'm a member of the 10 a.m. service. A little bit about myself: I'm married to Jen. I've got a couple of kids, Marcus, who's 4, going on 5, and also Olivia, who's 3. But in terms of my professional background, I am currently a general counsel in a healthcare company. But my, I guess, career in the law started many, many years ago in 2003 when I took up a role in a large commercial law firm where I stayed at for 13 years. And then only in late 2016 did I decide, look, it's time to make a move. I moved in-house and took up a role with one of my clients. But I guess my story really, I have to say, begins in the second year of uni. And I say that because that was the year that I became a Christian. I grew up in a non-Christian family. I didn't know anything about Jesus or the Bible or the church. But I became a Christian. I decided to follow Jesus and to give my life to him. And then that reshaped everything, right? I had to think about, well, what did that mean for me? I was on track to finishing this law degree. Was I going to step into the legal profession and start my walk in that direction? Anyway, I had the chance to take up a clerkship position in one of these vacation clerkship positions in this law firm that I ended up working 13 years in. And when I took up that offer, I guess there were a lot of people around me who were trying to give me guidance and wisdom. And I knew about all the issues of that particular place. I knew about the systems of hierarchy, the status, the power, the transactional nature of corporate life, the expectation that you'd have to put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Only then would you get the rewards and have the opportunity to partnership. But interestingly, as I began to find my feet in that particular space, I actually got to know the people better, and I really enjoyed their company. I found them to be amazingly intelligent, to be interesting, to be engaging. And the thing that stood out for me was that they had this incredible ability just to keep it all together when the pressure was on. And so I really respected them at the professional level. And I wish I could say, life in a corporate law firm was like living out an episode of Suits. It really wasn't. It was so much less glamorous. And I guess, when I got to know the people better, I could see that behind the curated profile of competence and excellence was this low level hum of anxiety and fear, that you're only as good as your last deal, you're only as good as the last case that you won, and you're constantly trying to prove yourself to the client. You're constantly trying to maintain your reputation within the firm in order to open up those opportunities that I was talking about before. And as I got even deeper, as I got to know these people better, they began to share with me, I guess, a lot of the brokenness that was in their lives, their personal lives, their sense of self and their purpose. And reflecting on all that together, I began to realize that my purpose was to be God's visible presence and his voice in that brokenness. How did I go with living out that purpose? You know what? I have to say I definitely struggled a lot, and I continue to struggle. At least at the start, I was definitely compartmentalizing my faith. And what I mean by that was that I would focus on what I needed to do at work and then basically get out as quickly as I could to do all the things that I was doing in church outside of work. But as I developed these deeper connections with my colleagues, I realized that I really wanted to be integrating my walk with God into my life at work because I was just spending so much time there, right? And as I reflected on what was going on and the dynamics in that space, I realized that we're all living out a story. This story that involved this elusive search for success. And it was creating this restlessness because we're constantly required to prove ourselves time and time again. And if I'm honest, I was drawn into that as well. But you know what? God was really, really gracious. And he was really gracious because he showed me, he said, Justin, look, there's a better story. And that story is that God has created us, that he's committed to us, that his deepest desire is to connect with us, to give us a hope and a success and a joy that's going to satisfy and last. I firmly believe that work is a wonderfully good thing and the pursuit of excellence is really, really important. But Jesus, knowing him, there's nothing better than that because he's written us into his story of renewal and redemption. I guess in terms of navigating the complexities and the temptations of life in the corporate law profession, you know what? I don't believe there's a single or a simple answer, but I do believe there's a really important and a profound one. And that is, for myself, it was immersing myself in God's uncompromising love for me and to let that be my compass to shape my sense of identity. To know that, and this I think is really, really important, that God was literally stepping into me stepping into the office with me every morning, that he was with me in every difficult situation, that he was guiding me through every tricky ethical conversation and dilemma that I was going to face. And you know what? I've failed and I've continued to fail a lot. But here's the amazing thing: the gospel keeps me going. It keeps me centered. It keeps me grounded. That Jesus has rescued me, that he's come and he's died for me in my place on the cross. That he's purchased for me a hope and a success that's going to last and endure. And so I can find freedom in that. I can find joy in that, and joy that I can experience right now. Friends, I hope what I've shared with you has been helpful. I guess as I wrap up, I just want to say one more thing, that whether you're a lawyer or not, God has put you here for a reason. And that reason is to be the person that's going to magnify his goodness, to be awesome at your job, but more than that, to show those around you that Jesus and his good news satisfies more than anything else that any career will ever offer you in this world.